Hello and welcome to Caffeine Entertainment. I'm your host Mental9R, and this is another GMX podcast video. Today, with my good buddy and friend Fin we are going to do a live reaction, well I guess live for him and me anyway, recording for you of the Xbox January 2025 Developer Direct show they did today. And yeah, how you doing, Finn? It's been a while. We've both gone through some family stuff. It kind of put a damper on getting our videos out. We just got on a good rhythm there for a bit, and it's kind of stalled off here now. But how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Like, I know we've after settling all our personal disputes, and we've agreed how to slice and dice all the billions that we're making out of these videos. We finally come to a conclusion, a bit like Paul and John. We've started all in all seriousness. So well, I was out of town quite a lot, and yeah, we both had our own stuff going on. Nothing to discuss here, but yeah, things back to normal, back in my normal location, and yeah, looking forward to getting going again.
Right on. Well, yeah, why don't we, I'll bring this up here, and I'm excited to see what Xbox is working on, and I think we're going to get some more in-depth views of a few games, and there's one new surprise previously unannounced game that's going to show up in here too, apparently. So that could be exciting. I'm going to go over to my other monitor here and hit play, and away we go. Okay, so let's not get too excited. None of these are actually ready for prime time.
All games are available on day one on Game Pass again.
There we go. And my Game Pass has expired. This is the first time in over 20 years I do not have Xbox services. It's kind of crazy.
Well, maybe based on this, you'll be resubscribing again. We'll see.
Maybe. I don't think so, though. But you know what's funny? I freed up over 1 terabyte of drive space, and my backlog feels way better now.
I'm not sure if having a smaller backlog is, I guess it depends on your mindset or your OCD, whether having a big backlog is a good thing or a bad thing. I like having a lot of inventory games, but it does. I'm not sure if it makes you pay more or less, I guess.
I don't know, but all I know is I only played 2 games last year. Hellblade 2, which I finished, and I played maybe 5 hours of Indiana Jones, and I did not finish it. I just
you mean two games of from Game Pass?
Out of Game Pass, yeah. I mean, I already own Stalker 2 on PC, so I definitely was not getting my money's worth out of it.
Yeah. I definitely get my money's worth more, I think. And I have that. Even some of our backlog and replays stuff was from Game Pass as well for me.
Yeah. We'll see. Developer Direct. _Direct. That's way different. Man.
That makes it like a real developer.
Yeah, I didn't know they had an underscore in there. Holy crap. This is more exciting now.
This is familiar. Team Ninja.
Dun dun dun.
Is it Team Ninja? That looks stupid if it isn't. Okay.
You're right. Look at you. All right, I gotta go. Outclassed already. Feels good to have you back, man.
It's good to be back.
Oh, I didn't know I was going to have to read stuff. Sounds good, buddy. Without further ado. Exciting.
I'm guessing what this is.
Youngest of the divine dragon gods wreaked havoc across the world. The plot was ultimately thwarted through the efforts of a sole ninja. However,
is this a ninja game?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a Ninja Gaiden, and then I was like, oh, maybe not, because it's like one of these dystopian, future-looking things. But I think it is. Yeah. Although that's not the dude. I don't think.
Commencing mission.
I would have thought they'd put the surprise at the end. I'm assuming this is the surprise, maybe? Because I don't remember seeing anything about this before. Do you?
No, is it Ninja? I think it is. I'm pretty sure.
Reimagine, maybe a little.
Yeah, he looks different. Like the other guy had a full headdress.
Headdress?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think this is the same dude, but. If it isn't part of Ninja Gaiden, like, then they're going to look very much like, we'll make another game, but it's almost exactly the same as everything else we were doing.
Yeah, like what? How many were there? Was there like 3 before? Or this be 4th, or is this the 3rd?
I think. Is it 3?
I know there was 2 for sure.
Yeah, I know 2.
So maybe it's the 3rd.
Maybe I'm not.
I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't play.
Oh, this is the guy.
I don't think I finished one of these, and I had. Let me think. Had 1 or 2 of them from Games with Gold, which
Right.
when you cancel your Game Pass, you lose access to all your Games with Gold games too. So
Can you go back to Games with Gold? I don't think you can, or can you?
I think because they still show them, I think that's an indicator that if I resubscribed, I'd have access to them again.
It's 4.
It is 4? Okay, I
Yeah.
wasn't looking. Okay, cool.
So yeah, this is a weird one because I love the first one of these. I played it to death. And then the second one I played a little less, and the third one, as you can see, kind of passed me by and I didn't even notice it. And I'm not sure why I didn't get him into the second game. I don't remember why. I don't remember that it was a bad game, but I just loved the first one. Okay, so a new protagonist, which is always that's always a popular move when you get. Oh, this is the original dude. This is always a popular move when someone is famous for being the main character of a title and they replace him. Like Metal Gear Solid, anyone, or Last of Us 2, anyone. Everyone loves when they do that.
Yeah, that's always, the. Oh, that's my favorite. Yeah, not so much.
I'm trying to remember if it was the first game set in olden times. Maybe it wasn't, but I thought a lot of the the biomes or whatever, the landscapes seemed to be like fields and stuff. But I didn't remember it being in a modern world, but maybe it was.
Yeah. I'll say that from what I recollect, it was like I remember fields and stuff. I don't remember cities.
Yeah.
Like I say though, I definitely came nowhere near finishing any of them.
It was a good game and it was a good story as well. Yeah, this is so. Oh, it's got a bit of Ratchet and Clank going on. Yeah.
A little bit of Sunset Overdrive, little Ratchet and Clank, rail riding.
When we looked at, I can't remember, was it some Sony games we were looking at like a couple of months back, and so many games kind of looked a bit like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like they kind of a little bit Souls, a little bit Devil May Cry.
Yeah, there was like 5 of them in the showcase that all looked kind of the same.
Yeah.
I think that was the Sony State of Play, if I remember right. Could be wrong. Maybe it was one of the Xbox shows, I don't know. I remember we both commented on it though.
Mm.
I mean, graphically, this looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks nice. They keep on showing. It's actually funny. Maybe they're trying to offset what I'm talking about. They keep on showing the original Ryu character just to make sure he's still in here somewhere.
カラス一門を背負う天才忍者でもあり、忍者ガイデンシリーズにおける忍者の頂点、竜と肩を並べる次世代の超人たり得る人物としてデザインしています。そんなヤクモの前に立ちふさがるのは 荒れ果てた東京
It looks
の
good,
疑似組織である
but
黒竜の
I just like
森に
my
守る
my level of interest for picking up these games is always, yeah. You know, there's a lot of games like this. Like when Ninja Gaiden came out many moons ago, there wasn't as many games like this.
Yeah.
But it looks good. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, when you're doing a game like this, the fighting has got to be good and it's got to look good. You know,
Yeah.
if you can tick those boxes, you probably have a winner on your hands.
I did pick up Ghost of Tsushima. Tsushima? Yeah. Over the holidays.
Did you get the turnaround at all?
I played a little bit. I was in the middle of other games at the time, so I kind of just played a little bit. So far, it seems really cool.
Yeah.
But I will go back to it. It's probably going to be the next game I play, or potentially the one after, because I've kind of started Ghostwire Tokyo.
Okay. Yeah, I loved Ghost of Tsushima. It was one of my favorites in the last couple
Yeah.
of years.
Well, and that's part of why I picked it up when I saw it on sale for $30.
And you did Silent Hill as well, which I was always banging on about to you about.
Yeah. I'm going to say Silent Hill 2 was my game of the year last year. I didn't actually. That's one of the things we missed out on. I wanted to do an end of December show where we did our own game awards, if you will. But yeah, Silent Hill 2 would have been my pick for game of the year. I quite enjoyed that game.
Not quite as action packed as Resident Evil, but I find
Right.
it more creepy.
Yeah, more of that psychological, intensity, I'll call it. The sound in that game was great. It really built a lot of atmosphere.
It's kind of funny. You look at all these dudes, and they all look so neat and polite, but their games are like everyone's getting chopped to bits and blood splattering all over the place.
Yeah.
It's like, this is how I present myself to the outside world, but in my head, this is what's going on.
Yeah, that is pretty nasty. Like pile driving their heads into the ground. Oh wow.
That's a lot of blood.
Yeah.
新しい忍者ガイデンにご期待ください。忍者ガイデンシリーズに色濃く残っている歯ごたえやグレードの高いアクション体験の継承。
You know, it's funny. Like it's I think just there as well when he had the kind of the vertical platforms. It reminds me of the Jedi games a little bit. The looks, obviously, the combat is quite different, but like something about maybe it's just the third person and jumping around and stuff, but somehow it's evoking that to me a little bit. The guys look a little bit like stormtroopers too.
Yeah, I can understand that.
長年にわたってプラチナゲームズさんと共にまさに忍者のように潜んで忍者ガイデン4の開発を進めてきましたが、ついに発表することができて非常に嬉しく思います。2025年秋に本作を皆様にお届けできるのを楽しみにしています。
Fall 2025,
続報にもぜひご期待ください。
It's a pretty big game. I'm kind of surprised that. Well, I'm not surprised, I guess, given the other big games. But like,
お伝えしたい発表はそれだけではありません。
okay, maybe this is the big
こちらをご覧
surprise.
ください。
One other thing.
Just pulling a Jeff Keighley. We have just one more thing. Actually, I guess that was more of an Xbox thing.
No, this okay.
Phil.
This is the other guy. I guess are they doing 2 releases?
I don't know.
This is definitely the other dude. Yeah, this looks more like the original game that I remember these scenes.
Remastered?
Yeah, I think maybe that's what
Remake of an earlier one?
Oh, the graphics in this look nice as well.
Yeah.
But like the wall walking there as well, the jumping back and forward, all very
Star Warsy.
yeah. This is I think this is a remake, alright. Is it though? It looks very like it, but oh, okay. It's a remake of It's a remake of 2, I guess.
Okay.
I was just saying, it looks like the original, but it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm remembering some of the 2, but I was like, yeah, it doesn't look that like the original though. So did he already remake Ninja Gaiden 1? My apologies for not being on top of this.
You don't have to apologize to me. I don't follow these, so for me, it's like, yeah, I don't know.
I probably missed the remake of the first one. Although they made a remake of Resident Evil 2 without doing 1, right? So, who knows?
Yeah.
忍者ガイデンシリーズを長年応援いただいている皆様はもちろんのこと、本日忍者ガイデンを知っていただいた皆
It
様
looks nice. This is
ぜひ本作をお楽しみください。
obviously put a lot of effort into this one too.
今
Yeah.
年はチーム忍者創立30周年の節目であり、本日発表させていただいた
30 years. Jeez.
2025
Does that mean Ninja Gaiden was about 30 years ago?
なります。ぜひ忍者ガイデンシリーズの展開に
That's scary if that's true.
本日はありがとうございました。
Jeez. Well, that would explain why I haven't played it, because I'm only 25. Yikes.
I'll play today. Okay. I guess it's out now.
So there you go, you got a new game to play.
I'll check it out. See if I can remember why I didn't finish it the first time. This, whatever this one, what's this one? The South or something? What is it called?
South of Midnight.
South, yeah.
Hi, and welcome to Compulsion Games here in Montreal, Canada.
We did do a reaction to the full deep dive on South of Midnight. For those that haven't seen it, it's on the channel.
From the magical Nora of Contrast to the alternate history of We Happy Few, we draw inspiration from the landscape to shape mood, drama, and intrigue. For South of Midnight, our third-person action-adventure game, the story and characters bring a folkloric Deep South to life. This gave us a chance to explore Southern Gothic themes with a dark fantasy twist. So while
Tony, you're getting the Deep South from the cold North in Montreal.
and larger dwarf creatures that will leave a mark on her journey in the road.
Yep.
It is really picking up out there. Did you pack everything?
Mama, this ain't my first hurricane. I know what to do.
As long as you didn't forget the...
Flashlight and batteries.
Oh, shoot, we got 5 minutes. Let's go.
Won't be rushed if you didn't.
Don't mumble. Speak on it.
I said we wouldn't be rushed if you didn't waste all that time at the shelter.
Now, you want to bring this up right now.
I'm just saying.
Hazel, please.
We might need some help. I might need some help. While you're out.
I do like the character designs. They're quite cool. I think that the angular kind
Yeah.
of cheekbones and stuff looks quite cool.
Hazel may start her journey as a typical 19-year-old, but disastrous events will push her into a darkly magical world where she'll learn who she really is and how to tap into weaving. An ancient
I just
magical
checked,
power
by the way, I have
defines
Ninja
her
Gaiden
trajectory
3.
in life.
Or Gaiden. Gaiden? Gaiden?
I don't know. I call it Gaiden, but I may have that wrong.
I don't know. Anyway, I've got 3 on Xbox 360.
The grand tapestry. Weavers can see the fabric binding our worlds, connecting people, nature, and echoes of the past.
Keep those hands to yourself.
Hazel can perceive both the mystical strands and stigmas in the world. Through her newfound power, she reweaves these stigmas and mends the afflicted creatures she encounters.
As Hazel discovers her power,
So I'm gonna say something here. Like,
gradually shifts into
this is kind of
revealing that
funny,
creatures
but
from old folk
the first time I saw this game, I was not that interested in it. And then the second time we did reaction thing, or the extended making of video. I was more interested in it. Now it looks even better than I remember it the second time. It looks so good. Like it's like it's getting, and maybe they're
Meeting Catfish.
that's quite to hear do. But it's getting better looking every time.
Traditional spinning wheels.
Yeah.
The weapons include a spindle, 2 weaving hooks, and a distaff. Her magic abilities manifest with supernatural lace-like patterns, blending the traditional craft with mystical elements. Hazel engages with the world through a variety of movement abilities.
There's the wall running.
Yeah.
Progress on a journey.
That seems to
And even
be
the double jump as well at the end of it, just to
yeah.
Using them
It's in a
to
lot of
traverse
games
the
these
world,
days.
conjure objects, and confront adversaries.
Combat is about understanding and adapting to different enemy archetypes known as Aints. The manifestations of corruption.
the graphics look superb.
These hates trap
Nice.
Hazel in
Yeah, no
combat
kidding.
until she
Really,
unravels them,
really nice.
destroying them in the process.
I'd like to know if this is on Xbox or if they're showing it on PC.
That you'll need to learn and adapt to. For example, the slug burrows on the ground and unleashes devastating strikes from afar, while the Ravager closes the distance.
Yeah, that looks crazy good. So.
Hazel can counter these threats with agile.
Yeah, if they're doing this on Xbox at 60 hertz, I'll be impressed.
And charge attacks. But close combat is risky and can backfire because Aints have powerful defensive abilities. Mastering your magical skills become the key to gaining.
Hopefully the on stream here, because I am streaming the video, typically that results in a bit of judder and it's not the smoothest when you do that through StreamYard, so hopefully it looks okay.
The other thing about
Anyone
this,
watching.
the other thing about this as well, and maybe it's just my recollection, is a bit faulty. It looks a lot more combat oriented than I remember it being the first time I saw it. I don't know if that's just because what we're seeing now, or is it because they've tweaked it a bit, like to have a little bit more emphasis on it seemed more kind of explory type, but with some combat. Now it looks more heavily combat based. Again, that's just my.
I expect it's probably just the early on view of it. They didn't have that fully fleshed out, and now they're at a point where they can show the full combat that you do. Like, that's one thing that a lot of people like to see is like real in-game combat and how it's going to look and work. I know at times games like Hellblade 2, for instance, they were criticized for not really showing the combat until right down to the bitter end. And I mean, this one is kind of the same. I guess it's the third sort of major look we've had at it. There was, I think I first saw it a couple of years back. Yeah.
We'll gradually uncover the backstories of these beings, once human or
Okay,
animal,
here's something nice.
transformed by tragedy.
Sorry. Okay, with accessing your something nice.
As a weaver, Hazel heals these creatures with fragments of haunted memories. We call them echoes.
Okay.
Reveal each creature's past. Hazel must
Now, was that Alexa or Google?
That was Google offering me something nice.
Something nice. Okay, here's something nice. Oh man.
Wow, like I can't get over how good it looks.
Unique music themes composed for each one. While not all encounters lead to direct combat, Hazel will need to face mythical
Yeah, I think what I'll probably do is save up a few of these games that they're dropping on Game Pass, see what the reviews are like, hear from some people that I trust on, you know, similar tastes in games and stuff, and then I'll probably do a Game Pass subscription on PC for a month and try and play them.
Yeah.
Something like that. And then if I really like them, I'll buy them.
I always hear, and please don't anyone misinterpret anything I might say here, but I've always heard that if you happen to live in Egypt or something, Game Pass is quite cheap.
South of Midnight unfolds as a hero's journey.
That's
And
weird.
as Hazel, you'll travel through
I don't know what you would mean by that.
Yeah, like I guess if you just happen to be in Egypt, I guess.
flooded farmland.
It's kind of like, I had heard that if you're in Europe, you can subscribe to the NHL network for way less than you can in Canada.
Yeah, pity you don't live in Europe, huh?
I know.
And as Hazel delves
It's really unfortunate.
reality bends ever more toward the fantastical.
The history, landscape, and folklore of the American Deep South fill our world, and our team has infused the game with thoughtful details and environmental storytelling.
It looks great. Like I know I keep on harping on about it. Obviously, hard to know what the gameplay is like, but certainly worth looking at anyway.
Yeah, like hopefully, like I always, when I look at the gameplay and the combat, I'm always like, okay, but is it a convoluted control scheme? Is the control scheme decent? You know, that's always usually my concern. Does it feel responsive, and do the controls make sense to the way my brain works?
Yeah,
because sometimes, man, I just like, who the heck designed these controls?
Yeah, there's a big difference between how it looks and potentially how it feels.
Because this folklore is open to visual interpretation, we embrace the freedom to reimagine these creatures
Looks a bit like
and their
Sackboy.
stories, to adapt how they look, and to craft our own version of a fantastical Deep South.
At Compulsion Games, we love to craft around central teams. We're lucky to have talent across all our disciplines that collaborate to give South of Midnight such a unique personality. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into South of Midnight. We're thrilled to announce that the game will launch on April 8th, and pre-orders are now available on
Not too far away.
Oh.
I think I'll definitely check this one out.
Yeah, it looks really good. Ooh, they're leaving ID Software to last.
Keep you hanging.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this looks really good too. Oh, yeah, that's not real. That's real life, actually. Sorry. I forget sometimes. There is a real life as well. Usually real life is so boring.
Sometimes you gotta go look out the window, and maybe even go outside.
Okay,
this game I think looks quite interesting, except it's turn-based combat, and I struggle with that.
What is it with these French developers taking over the world?
Refresh the genre with new features and took place in a compelling world. I knew I needed help to realize my dream. First, I turned to a programmer I knew would get it.
Guillaume and I started trading ideas right away, and that quickly turned into trading files back and forth. Soon, I was creating the first prototypes of the reactive turn-based system, combining real-time offense and defense element, and a cinematic battle camera system. Things really clicked.
So this one probably should look better if it's turn-based, because really what you're watching is little animations that they've pre-recorded, so to speak.
A vision
Yeah.
started to come together, and I shared it with an old friend from university.
Guillaume and I
I've played some turn-based strategy games or RPGs, I guess, back in the day, and I've enjoyed some of them, and other ones I have not enjoyed at all. It's a bit of a crapshoot as to whether, and it's very much based on whether or not the combat system is something that resonates with you and that you enjoy. Some of them can be really good, and some of them can be really freaking dull.
Yeah.
A world that is completely original, beautiful, and immersive. We founded Central Interactive on these tenets. A group of friends with a shared vision and the drive to make something great.
This too is your legacy. Core to every great RPG is a compelling story. And Guillaume and I spent 4 years intensively developing and refining ours. And that started with the hook. 67 years ago, a massive slumbering paintress and a monolith appeared with no warning. Once a year, the paintress wakes and paints a number on her monolith, and everyone who has passed that age is erased. Every year that number ticks down, and everyone dies younger and younger. Expeditions depart to kill the paintress, determined to fight until their final breath.
Sounds a bit like Logan's Run. Remember that?
Follows Expedition
Vaguely.
I think when you hit the age of 30 or something, you were killed, basically. And so you had a youthful, perfect society until you were 30. And I guess Logan decided that at the age of 29 he wasn't having it.
Us are people who, yes, are flawed, but
It was good until he was 29, but then he's like, yeah, no, suddenly I feel like the system doesn't work out anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't seem so great now, yeah.
we wanted our story to feel dark and mature, with adult characters who feel like real people with real experiences.
I'm always missing something that everyone else just gets.
See, this could be good, but this one doesn't catch my interest as much, I have to admit.
While struggling with loss and grief.
I feel like number one, it's very heavily dependent on the combat system, as I mentioned. And I have a feeling that you're going to be looking at a lot of
In a world
cutscenes.
like this,
Yeah.
how does one stay hopeful or make peace with their fate? What duty do we owe to each other or to ourselves? These questions are deeply personal to me, and they permeate the story.
Yeah, they haven't
behind the
really
story.
shown anything other than cutscenes.
Yeah, there's been a few clippets of the combat system, which it might be good or might not be good.
Their own motivations and perspectives.
Yeah, like,
Steve and Lune are deeply invested in the expedition.
I had imagined you'd be walking around exploring and
Central to their identity and purpose. Protocol
occasionally getting into a fight.
Yeah. I don't. It looks nice and all that, but I don't. Based on this, anyway, and who knows? It could be a little bit like South of Midnight, and as you get more and more actual gameplay, it gets more interesting looking. I'm not sure when this is due out, but
It's going to be pretty soon, I think.
okay. So you should expect it to have a lot more of the in-game.
Yeah, like everything in here is coming out this year for sure. So it's just a matter of when this year this one drops.
Philosopher and a fully playable character. He has a really cool battle mechanic.
I was going to guess it's probably like June or July or something. And then I'm kind of expecting Doom to be like a fall sort of release. Could be wrong, we'll see.
Expeditions come and go. He is a Jestroll, which are a group of playful beings who view battle as a form of meditation. They're fun and sort of ridiculous. You'll meet Monoko and many other Jestrolls across the
So that makes me want to play it even less. This comedic relief character.
Of course, there is Eskiel, who is one of the oldest and lore-wise the most powerful creatures in the verse. Eskiel is that powerful? He'll be your mount and help you travel.
Yeah, that's just not my. This guy doesn't look like my cup of tea.
If you bring him back to special
Yeah.
you can unlock abilities for him.
I was quite interested in this game, but this is making me far less interested. I mean, besides the fact it was turn-based combat, but I was still kind of interested in it. Like, the concept seemed cool, but
Yeah, I don't want to be unfair, but
Yeah.
it just doesn't look like it's going to grab me. I almost never enjoy these comedic sidekicks. I always find them like not that funny. There's very few games that are actually funny.
Yeah.
Like Ratchet and Clank is a game that's actually funny, but they're fairly rare.
At the right time. But balancing turn-based with real-time mechanics took a long time to get right. During initial playtests, turn-based players often found the real-time elements too hard.
So is this an Xbox studio that these guys are they
I don't think
independent?
so.
And with a lot of
I think
iteration,
they're
we
independent.
ultimately came up
Compulsion,
with a formula
like,
that we're proud of. Players who are good at
they're
real-time can
Xbox.
take more risks, and others
And
can
ID, of
balance
course,
with
is
items and
Xbox, but I don't think these guys are.
It's quite the it must be quite the coup for them to be a new small startup gaming studio to get like such attention from Xbox and to be on. I assume they're rewarded well for being on Game Pass, right?
I would think so. Like, it probably covered a lot of their development costs and everything, I would guess.
Switches between stances, which can ultimately
Of course, what do I know?
all power. I personally like to make Mel the protector of the group, but I'm pretty much the only one at the studio who plays her that way. Most people play her as a glass cannon, with Gustav's
As a what kind of glass cannon?
Glass cannon, I think he said.
I am not familiar with that term.
In our game, are called Lumina.
Me neither.
Every character has more than 20 unique skills in the skill tree and hundreds of passive effects. They can gain through Lumina and weapons. So there are a ton of builds and playstyle to explore. Needless to say, we can't wait to see how you choose to play and what kinds of build you'll design that we probably never even imagined.
And that we'll have to nerf later because it's too OP. Bungie with freaking Destiny.
I'm really excited to design something unique. Every level has its own color and texture identity. For example, the Jestral Village is an early area in the
It
game.
looks good, you gotta say that. Like, I mean, the walk, at least the small clips of in-game.
Basically a bazaar. Everything's disorganized, chaos everywhere.
Yeah, like, a lot of it is cutscenes, though, I think, as well. It's
Where anyone could fight
Well, it
you
sure
at any
seemed
point,
like that
which is
from the
pretty
initial
much what
part.
the
It looks
Jestrals
like
are like.
now at least they're showing a little bit of the walking around, but
The Jestral Village is hidden inside the ancient sanctuary. The ideas here were forest, labyrinth, and sentinels. I designed it as a vibrant place, like an old graveyard of Jestrals, or forgotten wooden toys in a box, with two main colors, red and white. I wanted to make it feel cozy, hidden from danger, with traps and labyrinths in case enemies get in. Same process with the characters. Monoko came in a single concept. I thought of a monkey-like body, white fur with a black and red flat mask.
Ladies, could I? Ow!
Definitely a Jestral.
For Eskin, we needed a cuddly companion to take us around the world. I thought instantly of a giant inflatable balloon and old Victorian pillows with many intricate motifs. We start with the core themes and ideas, and the visuals grow organically from there.
From the very start of the project, there was one thing that we absolutely wanted to bring back from older JRPGs. A feature we really loved, but is very rare these days. A completely 3D and navigable world map. Yes, we've got a world map.
Here you go, here's your running around.
Artistically,
okay. Well, now I'm sold.
it ended up a lot bigger than we expected. You'll definitely need SK's help traveling around. We're super happy with the result, though, as there's a lot of side paths.
Yeah, even the story, like I told you before, I'm not the biggest Final Fantasy fan in the world.
Good luck.
But there was one Final Fantasy game that I really loved, which was 10. And even the story evokes it a little bit to me. Like the idea of something happening every, whatever they said, 76 years or whatever.
Every year, I think they said wakes up once a year
once
to
a
write
year.
a new number.
I thought it was every few years, but even that's a little bit like Final Fantasy X, where I think it was every 30 years or something, a monster came back and killed lots of people and then went. And
we can't wait for you to discover our story, our world, and our take on
and then it was a turn-based combat system as well. So I think there's a couple of Final Fantasy X fans working on this.
Tomorrow comes.
Demain viendra.
Demain viendra.
Yeah, could be.
Tomorrow comes.
So
Sandfall Interactive, April 24th.
Okay, so what's the 33 about?
Well, that's the age of the people, right? Like, so everyone that's 33 or older gets killed, and then the next year it'll be 32 and 31. So, I mean, it's kind of...
At least we'd be okay.
Yeah, well, no, we're older, so we would be wiped anyway. I mean, I'm 25, I forgot. Yeah, we'd be okay for a while.
You know, even from the music, you know what this is.
Oh, yeah.
And welcome to Dallas, Texas, home of id Software, where more than 30 years ago, a small team of game developers helped define and set a course.
Okay, I'm cranking the volume. No, I'm just kidding.
A lot has changed since then, but our team is as passionate as ever. And the most important values at the core of our game.
Do you know these characters?
Craftsmanship and performance.
Dude on the, well, the left, or I guess the right if they're looking at us. Guy in the, with the, he looks familiar.
It is an honor
I don't
to work on this game, to carry on
recognize that individual.
creating all-out, groundbreaking levels of fun.
So now, we're excited to share with you a look at our most ambitious game yet. This is
I didn't catch their names.
That was so stupid I mouthed the words.
That's pretty funny, actually. Blue has big opportunity. Oh boy.
I don't know what you'll be looking for anyway.
Yeah. This might be a game where I break my own rules, and it might be a day one purchase for me.
In a cinematic sci-fi fantasy world full of locations to explore, powerful weapons to unlock, and enemies to conquer. This is a prequel to Doom 2016. And that's given us the opportunity to reimagine
I didn't realize
So
that.
it's like Dark Ages, so I guess I missed it there. Is this the medieval time supposed to be?
Then you'll be proud to see, in a lot of ways,
I guess.
is really a return to form. So let's break it down, starting with the combat. In Doom Eternal, you felt like a wizard. In Doom the Dark Ages, you'll be an iron tank. Heavy, strong, but still fast. A ground system with an emphasis on power over the acrobatics of Doom Eternal. And a balance between enemy projectiles and player movements that makes
So that's what you want from Doom, just being God and just smashing things.
Oh, yes, Doomslayer.
is the goal, always. And so for Doom the Dark Ages, it's an all-new world.
I guess it is medieval times, but you somehow have shotguns.
Yeah. It's a multiverse version of it.
Throw. Parry. Deflect. All from one input. It's contextual. Tons of depth on a single...
I love that weapon, like the way it chews up skulls. That is so cool.
So in 2016, we asked you to run and gun. In Doom Eternal, it was jump and shoot. And in Doom the Dark Ages, you're gonna stand and fight.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh boy.
These guys know their audience. That's no doubt about that.
Oh man, yeah.
But that's not all. Because if you're gonna stand and fight, then you gotta have something to follow up that opening parry with. How about an iron flail? Or maybe an electrified gauntlet.
Oh my.
Spiked mace.
Oh yeah.
Options that are part of a melee system. All on one input, complete with combos and upgrades. And it's totally
Wow.
awesome.
And it is totally awesome.
Completely in the player's control glory kill system. From any
Oh, I love glory kills.
as you see fit, and it feels amazing. You'll feel unstoppable
Wow.
smashing your way through the horde.
It really does.
Man.
Like you're uber powerful.
And that seems like a
Ah, yes.
No running away from guys.
important button that we haven't talked about yet. The trigger.
Jesus.
Oh, look at that. Oh man.
That's right, we saved the best for last.
Oh wow.
Oh my goodness.
About the guns. And Dark Ages has some of the most ridiculously powerful weapons that we've ever created.
It's like what's that movie Spaceballs, and they go ridiculous speed or whatever it
Yeah,
is.
ludicrous speed.
Yeah,
No.
Impale and shred the minions of hell.
We can't slow down. We're going too fast. It's too dangerous. Oh man.
So I'll say like I will definitely try this out. It's not really my thing these days. It used to be more my thing before, but it looks so much fun.
Well, with any luck, you'll have your PC for this. So it should just feel that much better.
Man, it looks so good.
Oh,
so much fun.
Yeah, and if the previous games are anything to go by, it's going to be super well optimized. It's going to look and play great on just about anything. Like, I'm still blown away at how good Doom 2016 looks on, like, just the Xbox One or the PS4. It's amazing to me that that game can run at, you know, a solid 60 hertz or 60 FPS and play on those old consoles, no problem.
It's a bit jittery here, but I think that's more the video than.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it probably, like, by the time I post this, it's gonna, you know, not do it justice. That's for sure. But it just looks brutal. I love it.
We've made our combat more approachable and flexible than ever before.
Okay, just tell me when it's out.
And sliders that will allow players to tune the speed and challenge of the game to whatever fits them best. You can slow things down or speed them up.
What? That's crazy.
The gameplay doesn't end with just the Slayer. We finally have for you, you've been waiting for 2 games now, to get in and pilot your very own 30-story...
Oh man.
Oh, no way. So this is basically like did you finish like a Doom Eternal and Doom 2016?
No,
Did you actually?
No, I didn't.
You did, because you see the wreckage of those 30-foot tall mechs essentially. Wow.
And the combat systems behind these features are deep and tons of fun.
Jeez.
Oh man, I love how it just shreds the meat off them. Like, it's just so brutal.
And I may seem kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Not very deep for saying this, but this is the kind of game I actually don't want to be too hard. I just want to feel uber powerful and just grow.
Well, I think there's a skill level called "Don't Hurt Me, Daddy" or something like that. Like, I'm scared. Yeah, something like that. I can't remember, but I usually play on the. I think like "Hurt Me Plenty" is usually where I go. Although I'm getting older, so
It's not quite what I mean, but it's like I don't want to be dodging and jumping. I just want to be killing things in these type of games. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's the power fantasy, right? It's I want to go in and beat the tar out of everything and not have to worry about dying every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And save a city
Jeez.
from certain destruction. Explore the medieval battlefield outside the castle walls, seeking out targets and enemy formations along the
That shield is epic.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I'm curious as to how it feels. Now I have to gotta say, I've never failed to impress, but at the same time, it looks like they're doing quite a lot of different game mechanics here. That would be interesting. Are they all as much fun as you would hope? Like to me, it's never been much of a, or I haven't been much into the melee aspects of Doom. I've always been a shotgun and machine gun type of dude, like,
Head back to the main gates because the battle isn't over yet.
I don't know. They've never disappointed me, so it would suck if they started now.
Yeah, I don't think they will. I just.
But this just looks ridiculous.
Okay, big dude.
Yeah, but you're Doomslayer. It's like the boss fight in the end of Doom Eternal.
Providing you with a metal soundscape that's loaded with guitars, medieval vibes.
Oh, here you go. This is your.
The music is half the experience.
And speaking of that legend, the story of Doom: The Dark Ages.
I mean, you wouldn't know I'd like that kind of music. I mean, just based on the outro music that I play. Which was created by a friend of mine, by the way. It's custom for the channel.
Cool.
If you want to know who that is, if you like it, post in the comments below, and I'll hook you up.
And time is running out. It's a new story and the perfect entry point for new players. It's easier to access now as we've taken the narrative out of the codex and into the cutscenes.
It's like Captain America on steroids if he was a homicidal maniac.
Oh man.
Directly into the Doom 2016 Slayer's Testaments. It's an action
Just a badass from start to finish, right? Like,
that looks like plenty. That looks like lots of fun.
We've got 10 years of
oh
making
man.
modern Doom games together. And we've done
Sign me up.
every game.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
With all this, the goal is to give players an experience that's as fun to play as it was to make. And make something that's good enough to become the best game id has ever made.
But that is for you to decide. When Doom: The Dark Ages releases.
May?
May. Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's like all 4 of these games in April and May.
Okay,
April
Ninja
6th,
Yeah, I know the Ninja one was in fall, but they have.
Oh, was it? Okay. Yeah, the other one's now. So yeah, they're right. There's like 2 there. So.
Huh? It's definitely some interesting things. I mean,
yeah.
I'll probably check out all of them. Maybe not the RPG one, but I think the.
Medieval war against hell.
I think in order of preference for me, I know yours is going to be different, but I think I'd go for South of Midnight. It's that type of game I would play and probably play it through. But Doom would be next up. Like that's something I definitely want to experience. I'm not sure I'm enough of a fan of those type of games to play it all the way through, but time will tell.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely Doom first, and South of Midnight looks fantastic, but I'm sorry, Doom. And then it'd probably be like Ninja Gaiden, and then I think Expedition 33.
Yeah,
I mean, it looks cool. I love the concept, but I think I just don't think it'll work for me. I'll wait and see what the reviews are like. The only one that I'll probably want to buy day one is Doom.
Yeah, I think so. We got the kind of same preference, just flip order 1 and 2, but the rest of it is the same.
Yeah, I think it'll be a day one.
See, this was a much in a way. This was a good. This was a good format for me personally. Not too many games, enough so I don't fucking. Excuse me. I don't forget. I don't forget the
Irish slipped out.
I forgot where I was. I forgot I was in Canada for a second. I was back in a bar in Cork. What was I going to say? I lost the train of my thought now.
There's not too many that you kind of lose.
I kind of forget the ones at the start by the time we get to the end, you know?
Yeah. No, this was, I thought, another really good show by Xbox. I mean,
I agree.
It's crazy to think that of what they could have done if they actually kept some stuff exclusive. When you see all the stuff they have coming, and I mean, yeah, sure, 2 of these are obviously not theirs, but the fact that they're slamming them into Game Pass, I think, is pretty cool.
Are any of them going to be exclusive as far as you know? You don't think so?
South of Midnight may have some kind of an exclusivity window. I would guess I don't think they didn't say what it was coming to, did they?
I wasn't paying attention, to be honest.
Yeah, let me see here.
If you look at the end of each game, I think it give you.
What I'm scrolling here. South of Midnight. It doesn't mention PlayStation. It just says Game Pass, Xbox Series XS, and PC. So, I would guess at the very least it's going to have some kind of exclusivity window. Maybe. I don't know, but given like Indiana Jones and more recent stuff, and that's a topic for another show. But there's talk of other major Xbox titles making their way to PC this year. So,
but
who knows? But at least for now, it looks like there will be some kind of exclusivity window for South of Midnight. So,
well, you know what? Like they bought a lot of studios and. Forgetting about the whole Xbox exclusivity thing, they bought a lot of studios and they're producing a lot of games. I mean, as you say, like I know they're not all Xbox, but they got some quality games coming up. So good times. Sure do. Good times.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining me for this one, Finn. I do appreciate that. Why don't you tell everyone where they can reach you? I'm sure they've all forgotten by now. So
yeah, and I've forgotten what I used to say as well. Okay, so it's Fintintin with 1 instead of the first I on X, and then Fintintin all letters everywhere else on Xbox, Steam, and on Game Pass and on PlayStation. Sorry, yeah. So I'm well out of practice.
There you go. Well, hey, me too. But I'm at Mental9R on X. I am Mental9R on Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, and just about anywhere else you can play games. And of course, here We are at Caffeine Entertainment on both YouTube and Rumble. Hey, if you stayed with us this long, would really appreciate a like, maybe even a subscribe or a follow if you are on Rumble. And yeah, we're going to try and get those videos out a lot faster in the future as we go forward, get back onto that cadence where we were at. One last time, I'm Mental9R, he's Fin1010. This is Caffeine Entertainment. Don't forget, it's time to wake up and play some games.